So we're going to take our mandolin, and we're going to chop up our apple, or slice up our apple. How many of you are afraid of the mandolin? It's okay, to be honest. Right? It's a little intimidating of a product, but it's a fantastic product. So I can't encourage you enough to make friends with it. Go home and use this and practice. The more practicing you do with this, the more comfortable you're going to feel with it. The more comfortable feeling with it, the more experience you're going to have with it, the easier it's going to be able to talk about at your parties and then sell, for sure. So, a couple things you want to know about this. Number one, keep the box. When I tell my people who buy these all the time, keep the box. It's a very neat way to store this, because this falls down nice and flat, and it goes right in there. And it comes with this awesome laminated cheat sheet. I love these instructions. This is like as important as the piece of product we have, because this little guide will tell us what we want to do. If you're making this kind of slice, you're going to turn the knob here, and all of this, etc., etc. So keep this. It's really handy. So we lift this leg down right here, and it's got rubber tips, so it's going to stay in place. Bring the second sheet pan out, because I find it's best to use the mandolin in a sheet pan, in a cookie sheet, in a jelly roll pan, whatever you call these. I call them sheet pans, but whatever you call them, put it in there, because it's got lips around the edges, and as you're slicing things, it's going to be easy to then just slide that next batch out. Do another apple, slide it out, so it's not gathering up underneath the mandolin, it's not falling on the floor because you have lips around your pan. So that's a helpful tip, I think. There's a second blade underneath here, and when you're using this, you want to take this off, because it has to have room to fall, your product, right? So here's our waffle blade, so when you're doing other things that are going to have more waffle look to them, you'll use that blade, but today we're going to use our slicing blade. And easy enough when you're changing the blades to just pop this out. You just pull up on those side tabs, this blade comes out, put the next one in, snap it in place, and we're good to go. All right, so when both of these knobs are in the locked position, there's a lock on each place, nothing can happen. Nothing's exposed, you can't hurt yourself, we're all good. This knob is only to do with the thickness of the slice. So it has different settings up to 9. If you want a nice thin slice, you have to pull the button out, the knob, when you're turning it. So pull it out and turn. So let's say number 2. And now you have a nice thin slice. And this would be perfect if you're going to do something thin, like onions, if you're going to saute them, or scalloped potatoes maybe, or any kind of thin slicing that you want to do. For the apples, I kind of like it at that point, because it's just a perfect right size bite. If I wanted a thicker slice, I would just go all the way down to 9, and now you see this really good size thick, if you want a bigger onion for your hamburger maybe. So I'm going to go back to 2. This knob has to do with these blades that are going to pop up to do these kinds of slips for julienne fries, for anything that you need strips of, you know, small little julienne sticks or matchsticks for a coleslaw or for a salad. You're going to pull the knob out. There's 2 settings. One of them has more space between them, and one of them, the blades are closer apart. So when you have the ones that are close apart and you have the thin slice, you can have these beautiful tiny little julienne slices. Never, ever, ever use this without this in your other hand. Promise me. Put your right hand up and say, I promise, Nancy, I'm never going to use the mandolin without this in my hand, all right? This is the only way to prevent you from having
okay. See?
All right, so we're going to take our apple. We're going to take down those blades, because we don't need to have slices. Sticks. We're just going to do slices. I would take my apple that I just peeled. Maybe I'm cutting it in half. You can core it if you want to. And then stick it right in here, push this down, and we're just going to go down about 5 or 6 times, and you're going to have these beautiful little thin apple slices. People are going to be like, wow, amazing, because it's really fantastic. You can't do this by hand with a knife. It just does such an impressive job. Take the second half of your big Granny Smith, do the same. This recipe calls for 1 large Granny Smith or 2 medium or small ones, so you can be the judge of that. So we're done with that now. We're going to scoop up our apples and put them right here in our mix and store, and then we're going to add these other ingredients that it's asking us for, which are the cinnamon vanilla seasoning, which again, you can talk about our pouches of seasoning and how great those are for $6. Stop for a minute, turn to the page, show people where they are, suggest they dog-ear their pages or circle them. People will continue to do this through the party, and at the end, they've added up this whole bunch of stuff that they want to buy, or date a party to get, or join us to get for free or at a discount. And then we have our cinnamon vanilla. I have this in one of our small shakers at my house. I just always cut the labels out of whatever I have. And then you can use this with your measuring cups and spoons and do your little demo on the features and benefits of your cups and spoons, which is great that you get in the kit. And now you've measured out your flour and your sugar and your cinnamon vanilla. So we're just going to mix all those together with the apples. And now we're going to squeeze a lime. How many of you love this? This has got to be in my top 10 favorite things Tupperware has made. Love this product. This is such a great product. First, we have our grater, right, which is great for any of your zesting. always tell people what this is for because they're not quite sure. And then I just usually say, have you ever seen a microplane used on the Food Channel, or do you own a microplane? And that's that long tool where you're zesting, and all of your stuff goes all over the counter, and then you have to scrape it up and put it in your recipe. Here, you can just take your lemon or lime or orange, zest it, and when you're done, you have all that zest in this compartment and dump it right in there. So it's just a great tool to have. The other best thing about this is the fact that you can juice from it so beautifully. You cut your lemon or lime and put it right in here, cut side down, because you want to have the holes exposed to the cut side. And then you just fold it over like so, and when you press on it, it's made of metal, so it's really heavy duty. It's going to invert that half of a lemon or lime and let every single bit of juice come out of here. It's really impressive. And the seeds stay in here, which is great. No fishing your little lemon seeds out of your recipe once they've gone in. You don't have to worry about that. So great tool. We have our lemon on top of our apples and our flour sugar mixture, and now we're just going to put them on our tart, our pastry sheet. So here we have our virtual round pastry, right? Sitting right here. You're going to just dump this, and of course you're going to need a spatula. Features and benefits, talk about this, how wonderful it is, stain resistant, heat resistant, heavy duty, great ergonomic feel to it. Put that inside your tart, leaving just a little bit of space around the edge crust. If you'd rather, you can talk about our utensils, point out the page, talk about the utensils, use the spoon instead. However you want to do it, the more products, the better to introduce. And now we're done with that. So what we're going to do now is take the edges, the lips, the rim of that pastry sheet, and we're just going to fold it and kind of fold it over each other, kind of like you're just flapping it over. And it ends up looking so beautiful, just like in this picture. But you have the whole inside exposed. So the next thing I want to do is dot it with a little butter, and thank you Tupperware that we have a butter dish, right? Because again, one more thing that we can show. We have our 1 pound block in here. You can use either side. You can have a couple of your sticks if you'd rather. Take your knife again, and just cut a couple of small pieces, and I just dot the butter here and there, and it'll melt in beautifully when it's baking. It's really impressive. Last but not least, if you want a gourmet touch, we can do an egg wash around the outside crust. And how wonderful that we have our special, attendance special of our quick shake, buy one, get one, the little guy. How great. People love little Tupperware, so this will be a good seller. So here we have our quick shake with our blender in the middle. Really great for any of these things you need to mix up, and in this case, it's just 1 egg. So we'll put an egg in here, put our blender in, seal it up, cap it up, and then we're just going to shake like crazy, and now you've got a blended up egg. I have the old pastry brush. We don't have it right now. Next time it's back in catalog, you know, take it back out. But you can use your fingers even, or a brush, and then just put a little bit of that lovely egg wash on the outer crust, and voila, this is ready to go in the oven. And it bakes really, really quickly. It's pretty impressive. 20 to 25 minutes, usually 22 minutes I find is perfect at 425 on the silicone Wonder Mat. And people are blown away. They're watching it in the oven. And when you take it out, you've got this beautiful, crispy, lovely apple pie. Don't cut on here, all right? But because it's a silicone Wonder Mat, it'll slide right off. You can put it on a plate and then cut it in wedges. Everybody can have a piece with a little bit of ice cream. You'll use your ice cream scoop, right, to put that on. And then you can show the features and benefits of our modular mates, where they would have stored their flour and their sugar. And of course, when you're done storing it, the first one will be gone, but once you've made 3 or 4, maybe there'll be some leftovers, and you can put it in our wonderful round pastry pie keeper. This is fantastic. Again, on sale in our new mid-month brochure. You'll sell multiples of these, especially at the price they're at. And this will keep your pies fresh. It's great for that giant Costco pumpkin pie. It's probably the only cake taker out there, pie taker, that will hold that. And of course, you're going to want to finish it off with a nice cup of coffee, which is on our host bonus gift right now, inside the back flap, where for $39 they can get this as a bonus to everything else we already give them for the incredible price of $39 with a party of $5.50 in sales and 2 datings. So help them figure out how to get all of this. By the time you're done, they're going to want everything on your table. They're going to want to join your team. They're going to want to have parties with you 2-3 times a year and just keep cooking and having fun. Thanks.